Welcome back to the Business Ignite podcast, where we light the fire for business growth and marketing success. Your hosts, Ethan Walker and Samantha Reed, bring you the latest trends, expert insights, and actionable strategies to fuel your business journey. Let's ignite your potential.
Ever find yourself staring at that little spinning wheel thing, waiting for a website to load?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the modern equivalent of watching paint dry, isn't it?
Totally.
We've all been there tapping our fingers about ready to just give up if things don't speed up.
Yeah.
But you know, today's deep dive isn't just about impatient web surfers.
Right.
It's about why this whole website speed thing really matters.
That's true.
And to help us unpack this, we're going to be diving into a super interesting article from 95 Visual.
Okay.
And they are a company that lives and breathes web design and SEO.
Yeah, they really know their stuff.
They do.
And what's so fascinating is that this article is actually from way back in 2018.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But the message is even more relevant today than it was then.
Yes.
Yeah. Back then, people were already glued to their devices, but now our reliance on getting information quickly, it's just gone crazy.
It's true. It's like our collective attention span is
Gone?
non-existent.
Yeah.
And the article highlights how search engines are kind of catching on to this whole speed need too.
Yeah.
Like they're actually judging your website's performance.
Yeah, they are. It's true. It's like, think about it this way. Google, Bing, all of them, they want to make sure that the user is having the best possible experience.
Right.
And if a website is slow and clunky, that's not a good reflection on them.
No, it's not a good look.
No.
So it's like showing up late to a meeting in your pajamas.
Exactly.
Not the first impression you want to make,
Not at all.
but how does speed actually
Yeah.
factor into those all-important algorithms? I mean, it can't be the only thing they care about, right?
No, you're right. It's not the only thing, but it's a big one.
Okay.
And this article uses a really interesting word. It talks about efficiency.
Oh.
Search engines prioritize websites that can deliver their content efficiently,
Okay.
and speed is a huge part of that.
So it's like they're saying to have a good website, you better make sure that your site is
Running smoothly.
firing on all cylinders.
Exactly.
Beyond rankings, this article dives into the business side of things too.
Yeah.
Like how a slow website can actually affect your bottom line.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really real.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought was really interesting was how it talks about operating costs.
Okay.
So if you have a slower website, it can often take up more server resources, and that means higher costs for you.
Wow, so you're losing money in the background just by having a slow website.
Potentially. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. It's like a
Uh,
sneaky little expense you don't really think about.
Totally. And it all adds up.
It does.
And speaking of adding up, the article talks about how speed affects something even more important,
Okay.
attracting and keeping customers.
Right, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right?
Exactly.
You can have amazing content, a beautifully designed website,
Yeah.
but if it takes forever to load,
Nobody's going to see it.
yeah, are people even going to stick around to see it? Well, it's like we were saying before about attention spans.
Exactly. And it's funny because the article highlights all these studies that show that faster websites actually attract more customers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's not even just about convenience. It's like this subconscious trust factor.
Interesting.
Yeah. A fast website says this brand is credible, they're professional.
You know, it's like walking into a shop and it's super disorganized and messy. You're kind of
Yeah, you don't even want to go in.
you're like, maybe not.
Exactly.
But what about the people who do actually make it onto your website, even if it's a little slow?
Right. Well, that's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
The article makes this point that when people have a negative experience because of slow loading times, they're way less likely to come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like it erodes trust and it makes a lasting impression on them.
It's true.
Like imagine being a customer and you finally get your website to load and then the next time you need something, you're like, I don't want to go back to that slow site.
Oh, totally. I've done that. I'm like, it's going to take forever.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go to one of their competitors instead.
It's true. It's like that saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
So true.
And online, that first impression is often tied to how fast your website loads. So it's not just about getting those new visitors to your site, but also making sure that they actually have a good experience.
Absolutely.
So they'll come back again.
Yeah, and this ties into a bigger point that the article makes about user experience.
Right.
When a website loads quickly and it's responsive to your clicks and scrolls, that all contributes to a more positive experience.
Uh-huh.
And that leads to things like brand loyalty and repeat visits.
It's like when you find a website that you just Like,
You just get it.
yeah. And you're like, this is great. This is easy.
Yes.
It values my time. This is great.
And when you have that feeling about a brand, you're more likely to tell your friends about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Share it on social media.
Yeah, you become like a walking advertisement. You don't even realize it.
Without even realizing it.
That's so funny.
But let's flip the script for a second.
Okay.
Let's say you do everything right.
Okay.
You have amazing content. Your website looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lightning fast.
Uh-huh.
Does that automatically mean more sales, more signups, more of whatever it is you're trying to get people to do on your website?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It is a good question. And this is where the article kind of subtly connects site speed to those bigger goals,
Okay.
like conversions.
Gotcha.
So if you're trying to get people to take action on your website, buy a product, sign up for your email list, download something.
Right.
A slow website can actually be your biggest obstacle.
Oh, wow. So it's like putting a roadblock in their way.
Exactly.
You've done all this work to get them there.
You got them interested,
Mhm.
and then right at the last second,
Oh, yeah.
that spinning wheel pops up.
Ugh. I know. And you're like, come on.
Exactly. And that's lost revenue right there.
Wow.
The article doesn't give any specific numbers or anything like that,
Right.
but there's a ton of research out there that shows a direct connection between how fast a website is and its conversion rate.
So every second counts.
Every second counts.
Wow. So we've talked about how website speed can affect your search engine ranking,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
much money you're spending,
Hmm.
getting new customers and getting them to come back,
Yeah,
and even whether or not they end up buying something.
it really is. It's like this one thing affects everything.
It's true. It's foundational.
Yeah.
And what I think is so fascinating is how it connects the technical side of things, like SEO with the human side of things, like user experience.
It's like we always think about website speed as just this like technical thing,
Oh,
you know,
Right.
like just check the box, make sure it's fast.
Yeah. Make sure it's working.
But this article really makes you think about it almost like psychologically.
Yeah. It's like it gets in your head a little bit.
Yeah, like what is it about a fast website that makes us trust it more?
Right. And it's almost like those algorithms that we were talking about before, like Google and Bing, like they're trying to do the same thing.
They're like getting inside our head.
Exactly. They're trying to figure out what makes us tick.
And what makes us buy things.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, my website's probably a little slow,
Yeah.
where do I even start?
Well, the good news is you don't have to be a tech expert to make a difference.
Okay, good.
Remember how they talked about 95 Visual and the work that they do?
Yeah, they're the ones who wrote the article, right?
Exactly. Like they're saying, hey, we get it. This is important and we can help.
So it's not about freaking out.
No.
It's about just knowing there are people out there who can help.
Yes, exactly. Knowledge is power.
Okay, so once you know how important it is, then you can start taking steps to fix it.
Absolutely. There are a lot of tools out there that you can use, and there are best practices.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet there's like a whole rabbit hole of information online.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And there are experts like 95 Visual who can help you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So it's like anything else, you don't have to be an expert to appreciate it,
Right.
but it helps to understand a little bit about how it works.
Exactly. I like that.
So if our listeners take away one thing from today,
Yeah,
it should be that website speed is so much more than just a technicality.
it's true.
It's really like the foundation of having a successful presence online.
Couldn't have said it better myself,
And if this deep dive has like sparked your curiosity,
as I'm sure it has.
you should check out 95 Visual's website because they have a ton of information about this.
They do. They're great.
And I'm going to leave you with this. When was the last time you really looked at your website's speed?
Oh, that's a good question.
Not just a quick glance, but like really dove in to see how it's performing.
Yeah, how it measures up.
Yeah, it might be time to take a closer look because you never know what you might find.
It's true.
A little speed boost might be just what you need.
Might be.
Thanks for diving in with us.
This was fun.
Thanks for tuning in to the Business Ignite podcast, where we fuel your business growth and marketing success. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to rate and review us. It does help others find the show. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Business Ignite Podcast and share this episode with a friend. Keep the fire burning, and remember, your success is just one strategy away. Until next time, stay ignited.